I'm going to show you how to set up a Weebly website. I just went to Weebly.com and I'm going to click on sign up. So I'm going to put my name in there. I'm going to say Christina because I have an account under another name. Let me get this sound off here. Okay, so my email is christy@twills-astoria.org. Really trying to use my Astoria email. Put in a password, and then click sign up. Let's see what happens. Okay, what type of website am I creating? Say portfolio, because that is it. So this is important, the name of my site. I'm going to say Christy Kingham Twills Portfolio. Let's see what happens. Okay, now I get to pick a theme. So I'm just going to pick one, try to pick one real quick. I'm going to go with this theme here, and looks nice enough. I know that I'm going to be able to edit this when it's time, but I might actually keep that because I like the way that looks. So now I pressed start editing on the upper right hand corner, and my site is going to be created. So if you already have a website, you can add this to it, or you can create a new one. So this is Christy Kingham Portfolio.weebly.com. Perfect. I'm going to continue. And now I get to get started, which is really exciting. So there's all these pages here that have nothing to do with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to pages. I know I'm tempted to design, but I'm going to go to pages. And I'm just going to delete some of them. Yeah, I do want to delete them. So I think what I'm going to do is make this page, I'm going to revise it to say Portfolio Fall 2016. And there is a limited amount of pages that you can have. So maybe I'm going to actually call it Portfolio 2016, 2017. Because what if I have this for 4 years? So this is where you get to pick the no header, I'm going to say, because I don't want that picture. And then I'm good. Okay, so home page. I get to decide what I want to put on my home page. I think since this is going to be a public thing, I might want to just put some info about me. Maybe even like a link to my resume, or so I'm going to just say Christy Kingham's Twills portfolio. Look how crisp and clean that is. This says view portfolio. I'm actually going to keep that, and I'm going to link it internally. So it says view portfolio, and I'm going to click on this link tab, and then in here you can link to a website. You just click on it. That's where you can link a Google Doc or anything else. A standard page means a page inside your website. So I'm going to click on Portfolio 2016, 2017. And now when people come to my website, they can click right on that at the home page. And I think I'm going to delete all this stuff down here, but I'll take care of that later because obviously I don't need all this stuff that person put in there. This is just a template. I kind of like templates because it just gives me some help. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to delete this extra page. So you guys get what's happening here. The contact information, I'm actually going to keep that because I want to, if people want to reach me, teachers or anyone. So I'm going to fix this heading. Okay. Maybe yeah, so you could even name this, right, like 9th grade or whatever grade you're in, because you're going to add to it if you're in 9th grade. So we can play around with the titles for right now since we're figuring this out. So now I know the thing that I really need to work on is my portfolio because that's what we're talking about here. So I'm going to actually get rid of this. And I'm going to delete this. Okay, so now all you do is you go to build at the top. And what I'm going to do is just have each of my classes, I'm going to give it its own little section. So this section will be English. This section will be musical theater. And I'm just making a title for each of my sections. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but it should be very clean. So musical theater, algebra 2, trig. So let's say I'm in 10th grade. And I've got Spanish 2, and then I've got PE, and then I've got, you guys get what I'm doing here, right? Sorry to bore you. So let's say, oopsie, see, make mistakes, but you can always figure it out. Now, for each of these, I then have to put in some links and some reflection. So I think what I'm just going to do is put regular text underneath each, and that's where my reflection will go. So here, I can reflect on how my outcomes are going so far. So there's a prompt that you guys will see on my website, on Christy's website, what you're supposed to do for each class. But it's kind of, those of you who have done student-led conferences before, it's the same idea. So I'm going to say, going well, and then I'm going to say, what's going well for me in ELA 10 is the communicate outcomes, specifically the target, and then I'll talk about the target. Fix my spelling. Here's an example of that success for me. And this is where you're going to either link a piece of work or you're going to put a picture of a piece of work. So if you're putting in an image of a piece of work or a few images, you see on the left-hand side, you have options to put links. So I'm going to put in this link to a document here, right? Or I'm going to put in a link to an image. There's also an embed code and a button. I'm a big fan of the buttons. So you can put a button in and say, let's say, this is my Catcher in the Rye response, right? And then on the button, you click on it and then you can link it. So I'm going to link it to a Google Doc, which I've gone into my Google Docs and I'm clicking on here, and then I'm going to click share and I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to put it back in here, and then it'll open a new window. So now you see, if you did this for everything, what it would look like is what's going well, what I need to work on, and then some text about that and an example. So you can see that for each course, you would have just a different area to go to, and that when you're sitting with your parents or guardians, you have it all in one place, and it's much easier for you to access. You can certainly bring physical stuff along with you if you want, but this is how we're going to give it a try this year at Twills. So I hope that you enjoy creating your website and look forward to seeing all of them.